When you first start learning piano, one of the first things you're going to learn is how to sit at the piano, how far from the piano, what a good posture looks like. But of course, this isn't something that only matters in the beginning. It's something that you always have to pay attention to every single time you practice. A lot of people get injured while practicing, and there can be many causes, but often it happens because of bad posture. So what's a good posture? The piano is a big instrument and we don't just play here. We have to go here, we have to go over here, we have to go forward, backward. So good posture means you can move comfortably in any direction you need. The distance between you and the piano is very important. So that means where you place your bench makes a big difference. Don't sit all the way back on the bench. Instead, sit on the front part. Now, where should we place the bench? When you sit like this, using just half of the bench, your knees should roughly line up with the edge of the piano. So I like to start with the bench a little farther away, and then make sure you're only using the front half of the bench, and you can adjust from there. Another way to check is where your elbows are. So they shouldn't be right beside your body. They should be slightly in front of you. So if you're sitting too close, your elbows would be like this. If your elbows are too close, your movement will be limited because your body is on the way. But when they're slightly forward, they can move much more comfortably. Think of someone you know who always has a good posture. That same posture will probably a good posture for piano playing as well. If you know cat and cow poses, I like to do that sometimes. So you tilt your pelvis back and forth a few times and then find the neutral point. And now imagine someone gently pulling a string from the top of your head. So your neck and spine stay in one straight line. And for your tailbone, imagine it almost melting into bench. A lot of people raise their shoulders when they play. I used to do that a lot too when I was younger. And to be honest, I sometimes still do that if I don't pay attention. So I think the most important thing about shoulders is not knowing what to do, because we all know what to do. What really matters is to keep noticing your shoulders. Many of us have shoulders like this because we spend so much time doing this. And apparently that's not only a shoulder problem. It's also because the chest muscle here are tight and shortened. Instead of thinking I need to lower my shoulders, I like to think I'm opening my chest. And when you do that, your shoulders naturally fall into a better position. Now, moving on to elbows. Elbows are so important. So like I said before, make sure that your elbows have space. The basic angle of your elbow is about 90 degrees or a little bit bigger. But of course, we don't play in just one position. When we go up here, the angle naturally opens wider. And a lot of time we have to go forward as well and notice that the angle gets wider as well. You can even imagine having a small spring in your arm. So it stretches, returns. When it goes this way, it doesn't go up, but it just goes like this. Now let's talk about the wrists. There's so much to talk about them. They're one of the most important, also one of the most challenging parts of piano playing. But today I'll just focus on the most basic and most important ones. So first, the height of your wrist. Imagine there's an object in front of you that you want to pick up. Notice this straight position of my wrist. That's about the right height. So if I show you here, it'll just be like this. So make sure you have this one straight line. But of course, the wrist doesn't stay here. It moves in different ways. So the first one is side to side. When you move to the left, your wrist lines up with your thumb. And when you move to the right, it lines up with your pinky. That's a natural side to side motion. The wrist also moves up and down, and when it goes down, it acts like a shock absorber, like the suspension in a car. One thing to keep in mind, as you move your wrist down, try to keep the same length. So if this much is my wrist, you don't want it to get short like this, and notice I have some wrinkles here, but instead keep it long. Some people hinge too much and play like this. But this puts strain here, and even a few repetitions can make it sore. But instead, keep the wrist long and relaxed and let the elbows move together with it. So avoid the starting movement from the wrist. Let it stay lengthened. Now let's talk about the hands. Starting with the thumb. The thumb is a bit different from the other fingers in structure, so it's important to think of it separately. Most people think the thumb is the shortest finger, but when we play piano, it actually starts all the way from here. So in a way, it's actually the longest finger. To get the feeling, gently hold this part of your hand, then lift the thumb from here and let it drop. And just like the wrist, always keep the movement long. When we play chords, the thumb is used a lot. For small chords, it's fine, but for bigger ones, many people twist their hand like this. They fix this joint and only try to stretch like this. So instead, let the thumb, this part of your hand, extend outward. Now let's talk about the knuckles. To feel this, open your hand wide like this. Then bring your fingertips in towards your body. See how your knuckles lift up. And from here, try gently spreading your fingers apart without letting your knuckles collapse. If they start to sink, go back to this position and do it again. To build strength and sensitivity here, you can practice this small movement like this. So starting from your knuckles, close, open, close, open. So this is very important for fast passages. When we play something fast, minimizing movement is key. If you use big muscles for every note, everything becomes heavy and slow. For fast playing, we have to use small, efficient motion that starts right from the knuckles. But not everything we play is fast. Sometimes we play slow singing lines. In those cases, motion from the knuckles alone isn't enough. For slower, deeper tones, we need to involve larger muscles and more of the arm. When we moved from the knuckle earlier, you should feel a little activation here. What we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle like this. And for now, we're going to feel the activation. The movement starts from here. But for deeper sound, think of your fingers as having 4 joints. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then imagine you have one more joint from here to here. So instead of your finger ending here, imagine it continues. Now I'm gonna do the same thing, but imagine it starts from here. So it's a little bit bigger motion. And notice the back of my hand moves slightly. It can be a bit hard to feel because you can't actually see what's happening inside your hand. So here's a simple exercise you can do. You're gonna line up your fingertips like this, and as if you're scratching, press each finger down. Notice the finger feels long. So that's exactly the motion that creates a full tone at the piano. Of course, each of these topics can go much deeper. Well, I hope this video gave you a clear overall picture. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Good luck with your practice.